All right, so next up is Gaming and Tech. This week in Gaming and Tech, we're talking about Elon Musk following through on an idea, it would seem. We also have Silent Hill Ascension just dropped a trailer and some information as to how you can watch the unfoldings. And then Crunchyroll. Huge news about Crunchyroll. We're going to talk about that. So welcome, nerds, to the Gaming and Tech news for the week. This is a clip that has been taken out of the main show, The Week in Nerddom, which goes up on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy. In Gaming and Tech, we like to talk about, well, you know, gaming and tech, trailers, announcements for new tech and games and consoles and everything in between that is gaming and or tech related. So this week in Gaming and Tech, all of this stuff happened. Starting with follow-ups and corrections, we're gonna hit up Mortal Kombat 1. We're gonna talk about Mortal Kombat 1 a couple of times today because New York Comic Con happened, and so there's things that came from that. So we have some release windows for the DLC Combat Pack stuff. And it's a little gray, a little muddy in the middle here, but we're gonna get through it. So first up, we do know that Omni-Man is coming in November. Don't know exactly what the date is. I would imagine somewhere in the middle of the month, because at the end of the month, everyone's gonna be focusing on other things. So you wanna drop it early so people know it's there. So roughly 2 weeks into November is when the masses are going to get it. But if you bought a premium edition or the collector's edition of the game, or if you have just already paid for your DLC, for your combat pack, then you will have week early access to Omni-Man. And from there, they have let the world know that we have some expectations that are being set up. First up, we have Quan-Chi will be the next combatant added to the game, and he's going to be sometime December or January. Peacemaker, roughly in February. Takeda is going to be sometime in the summer, so there's getting more and more vague the further out we go. And then Homelander is going to be sometime in the spring. I think I have Takeda and Homelander flipped because spring comes before summer. And then with the cameos, this is where it gets really muddy. With the cameos, no specific dates have been set. We do believe, even though they haven't said it explicitly, I haven't seen the announcement explicitly anyway, that Tremor is going to be coming with Omni-Man in November. So if you get access to Omni-Man, you will also get access to Tremor. Though, again, I have not seen 100% confirmation that that is going to be the case. No, I take that back. Yes, I have. The announcement has November next to it, just like it does Omni-Man. So strike that. We're gonna just forget I said that. So, but that's the only one that has a release date. So the other cameos, we got Farah from Farah Tor fame in Mortal Kombat X. We have Farah, we have, what did they call her? Jenny Cage? Janet Cage. We have Janet Cage. We're going to talk about that in a second. Janet Cage, and then we have the Chameleon, Janet Cage. Who the hell else were cameos? I can't even think right now. Either way, the other 5 cameos, because I take amazing notes. Remember, even for Mortal Kombat stuff, I take amazing notes. Though the other 4 cameos, there's no specific date. There's no lining them up with their DLC counterpart, as it were. So as that develops, we will be talking about it. All right, now mushmouth stuff aside, we're going to talk about Janet Cage ever so briefly, because previously it was reported that Johnny Cage was going to be not only a playable character, but also a cameo character. And now they're changing their tune a little bit. It's going from Johnny Cage to Janet Cage. Janet Cage, if you will remember, is the alternate version of Johnny Cage from one of the other timelines in this Mortal Kombat game. From the story mode, you run into a bunch of alternate versions of characters throughout the entirety of the last act and as a whole. So yeah, a little bit of a bait and switch, I feel like. Though to their credit, this very well could have been, we're saying the thing because we don't want to give away some of the cooler, spoilery stuff in our story mode before the game launches, and now that the game is out, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, it's not Johnny, it's Janet. So I feel like it's a relatively minor thing because we already have Johnny in the game and he really pisses me off, but we're not going to talk about that here. So our other follow-up is, actually we have two other follow-ups. The next one is Twitter. We're talking about X, baby. So Elon Musk talked about 2 months ago or so, talked about potentially charging for access to the Twitter platform, to the X platform. And everybody was like, oh, that's ridiculous. Nobody's going to pay a monthly fee to get access to something that is free currently. Well, that is where the interesting bit comes in, because they're starting in test markets, and those test markets are the Philippines and New Zealand. Starting in those two test markets, new accounts, so existing accounts will not be affected, but new accounts that want to be created, if you're not currently on the platform of X, then this will apply to you. New accounts are going to be charged $1 a year. So that's less than 10 cents a month in order to send tweets. The vocabulary in the announcement was very specific, that it is to send tweets and get access to some of the other currently free elements of the platform, though it does seem to leave open the option for you to just read your feed as much as you want if you're paying the $1 a year. So again, testing these out in the Philippines and in New Zealand, so we'll see how this goes, and if they tweak things or if they just start rolling it out worldwide, then we will definitely be talking about that here. From there, our other and final follow-up for the section is Phasmophobia, the very popular, about a year ago, survival horror game on Steam, on PC, is getting ports to consoles. That's not the news. We've talked about that. So they are planning on porting this game, Phasmophobia, to console, but the announcement was made just the other day that the project of the port is getting put onto the back burner indefinitely. It is being put on hold, largely because there was a fire in the offices of the developer, and I did write this one down, the developer Kinetic Games team. They had a fire in their offices, so they could no longer use their offices, so they're transitioning to a work from home situation, and that is much more affecting to their workflow than they were anticipating, so they had to kind of shelve what they were doing in order to make that functional. So sadly, no release date just yet, but it does sound like a new release date for the game will be coming down the pipe sometime soon. So that's what we got for follow-ups. Let's now talk about trailers, shall we? So, trailers, we got a couple of really cool ones too. First up, of course, Mortal Kombat Omni-Man trailer dropped at New York Comic-Con, in spite of what Ed Boon said on Twitter, because he likes to do the trolley thing. But yeah, Omni-Man trailer featuring Tremor looks pretty freaking awesome. There's 1,000,001 freaking edits of the elements that they took from the Invincible series and incorporated them into the moveset for Omni-Man. Like, a very noteworthy, the spine crush thing they turned into his throw. His fatal blow is what he did to Invincible at the end of season 1, and also one of his fatalities is what he did to Invincible at the end of season 1, and his other fatality, it would seem, is what he did to the government agent, I'm pretty sure, is who got his head popped. So yeah, just like in like almost frame perfect scenarios. It looks gorgeous. Let's walk that statement back just a bit. It doesn't look gorgeous in that Omni-Man looks like he still needs a little bit of work. Some of his the information for his suit and stuff, there's no textures involved with it just yet. It's a little too shiny, so very likely we will be seeing a bit of a different look for Omni-Man when he finally launches next month. But this was enough to keep the crowd, or the fandom, satiated. So that is a win in my book. The next trailer, we're going to talk about this one real brief. The next trailer is Sonic, Sonic Superstars has launched, and so we got the launch trailer for Sonic Superstars. This, I got a laundry list of Nintendo Switch games that I gotta pick up now, and this is just going on there with it. This trailer, I mean, this game obviously looks like a whole hell of a lot of fun. So I didn't see the price, I don't remember the price, but I'm sure it's in there somewhere. Either way, it looks like it's gonna be worth it. So Sonic Superstars, that's that one. And then the big one for kind of the nerd community at large, not just specifically for us Mortal Kombat nerds, but the big one that dropped this week is Silent Hill Ascension. Not only did we get the trailer, but we also got the information on how we are going to be able to watch and participate in this story. So all the trailer links you can find down in the description. That's, you know, nothing new. But if you go to ascension.com, then you are going to be able to sign up for the app when it's available. I think actually, no, you can download the app, just nothing's going to happen until October 31st when the first episode airs, I guess you could call it. If you don't have a smartphone, if you don't want to download another app, if, you know, plethora of reasons why you would not have this app on your phone, if any of them apply, then you can watch it on the website. Though I think, from what I was able to gather, I think that limits your ability to interact, because remember, this is the interactive Silent Hill story. So each week when they launch a new episode, the end of the episode, they're going to have things for people to vote on. And that's going to determine what happens in the following episode. So right now, I would imagine they have like an episode or two and some really detailed ideas of where they can go. But there's no telling how this is going to end exactly. So very interesting. I'm very intrigued by this. Silent Hill is one of those properties that is just too good to pass up when they do it right, and it looks like they might be doing it right with this one. Go watch the trailer and then go check out the website and download the app if you are so inclined, because this looks like it's totally going to be worth it. And then we got one piece rather in regular ass news. So let's talk about Crunchyroll, shall we? So a new linear anime channel is being added to most of the free streaming platforms. At this point, it's in the Roku channel, it's in a couple of the other ones, and it is coming soon to Freevee. Actually, no, I'm looking at the date right now. As I'm filming this, it is available on Freevee. It doesn't say if it's going to be called Crunchyroll, so you're just going to have to do a little bit of searching, but it is going to be one of the live channels that is available on whatever free streamer you use. It will not, however, be available on Pluto or on Tubi. So you're going to have to get Freevee if you don't have Roku channel or one of the other ones that it's on. But most of the free streamers are getting this. So that's pretty freaking cool. That is, though, the only piece we have, like I said, for regular ass news. So TV streaming suggestions this week. We have Silent Hill Ascension. Like, this is going to be happening soon. So yes, I know it's not something you can watch right now, but that is absolutely your suggestion this week. Is Silent Hill Ascension. And while you're waiting, go watch Haunting of Bly Manor, because that's also worth your time. Once again, this is just the gaming and tech section. It is a shortened piece of the much longer news show that I do over on youtube.com/generallynerdy, which is the main channel. There's a lot more music and comic books and movies and TV shows, etc., that can be found over there on the regular show. Thank you for joining me here, though, nerds. Before we go, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.